My parents kicked me onto the street, and they're now demanding. My sister deserves all I've worked for. I was 18 when my parents kicked me out. No explanation, just my clothes in a trash bag because they needed space. For 8 years, I grinded. I worked 80-hour weeks, slept in my car, saved every penny, and eventually built a successful logistics consulting firm. By 26, I finally had security, a beautiful apartment, and a solid savings account. Then out of nowhere, my mother called. They didn't want to apologize. They had found out through social media that I was doing well. When we met at a diner, my dad didn't even look me in the eye. My mom just demanded I hand over half my savings. Why? Because my golden child, younger sister, wanted to go to an expensive art school in Europe and buy a condo, and they claimed she deserved a head start that I apparently didn't need. When I laughed and told them absolutely not, my mom's face went cold. She said, "We gave you life, you owe us." I walked out. I thought that was the end of it, but they were desperate. A month later, I was approached by a new high-end client offering a massive, game-changing contract for my business. The representative was incredibly professional, presenting flawless paperwork. I signed the onboarding contracts, which required a temporary escrow deposit from my business account to guarantee upfront shipping costs. The moment the wire cleared, the client vanished. When I frantically pulled up the legal documentation to track them down, I discovered the horrific truth. The shell corporation they used was tied to a dummy LLC, and the actual notary on the paperwork was my sister's fiancé. They had used an elaborate identity theft and corporate fraud scheme to completely drain my business and personal accounts, mapping out my vulnerabilities, using old mail they'd kept from when I was a teenager. Because of the way the legal loopholes in the contract were structured, the bank froze my remaining assets during the fraud investigation. I couldn't pay my rent or my commercial lease. Within 3 weeks, I was evicted and completely broke, standing on the sidewalk with my life in trash bags all over again. But they made one massive mistake. They thought I would just take it. Instead, I took every shred of digital evidence. It turns out grand larceny and wire fraud carry heavy federal prison sentences. My family wanted my money for a luxury life. Instead, they are looking at a prison cell, and I am going to make sure they serve every single day of it.